gearwebsites.com. Hey, did you know that you could help support our future projects and let everyone know you're a fan of what we do? Check out our print-on-demand store. We have a tab here on YouTube. When you click on it, you can choose from a bunch of different items. We have shirts and posters and coffee mugs. Click on the one you like. When you find the design you want to put on it, choose a color and a size if it's appropriate. And when you purchase these items, a portion goes to help fund our future projects. We really do appreciate your support. You get some cool stuff. When you get that stuff, post pictures here and on other platforms, and we'll hook you up next time you order from our Gear Website store. Thank you for your support of gunwebsites.com.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song. They're on or behind the lines, this is your song.
All right, we'll end it right there. So welcome everybody to our weekly wrap-up of what is Second Amendment throughout the week. Oh, I get after-worked now, so I've been pushed all around, even though this is my evening to do shows. It is early because I'm starting to get after-worked by a bunch of bullies, so my slot was pushed around, and now I'm doing this slot, which is fine with me. I don't care. So all you people have to adjust your times around the after corkers. All right, so we're going live each week to talk about what's going on in Second Amendment realm. Not so much paying attention to the news of the week like some kind of chumps, but instead what's cutting new ground. Let's pay attention to what's moving and shaking out there. So we haven't done one in a couple of weeks because we were at SHOT Show. I start out the program with this series of slides, which I'll be updating soon, which are our Patreons, the people that subscribe to what we do, effectively venture capitalists in our Second Amendment projects, which include a whole bunch of websites. It includes the data that's on those websites, which has taken years to create. The systems and things that those websites do, like the calendars and things like that. Of course, the social media platforms and stuff like that as well. And the focus on Second Amendment, giving us the chance as a team to help others and to focus, create awareness for the stuff that's happening out there, again, that's cutting ground, that's doing work. So I appreciate it. The subscribers, the people on Patreon make it possible to do this. A bunch of people got together and pre-ordered a bunch of patches, thanks to Yankee and his subscribers. Made it possible for us to get to SHOT Show, pay a whole bunch of bills, make it possible to go to SHOT Show without thinking about massive debt and stuff. So that was pretty cool, pretty freaking cool. Gave us a chance to get some stuff accomplished up there instead of just looking down at the tables and at the toys on the tables and the tools. We got a bunch of other stuff as well. So let's take a look at some of that. We started off with 1,000 photographs. That's about 4 gigs of photographs. During the week, we posted about 45 Instagram posts. I probably will post more than that. Photographs are mostly on my phone. They don't take up that much room, really. But the videos are going to be gone off the phone. There's no need for those to be on the phone anymore. Had to buy a new hard drive, got them all updated. 200 videos, though. It's about 15 gigabytes of videos. Nothing fancy. I don't do anything high production value, just pointing the camera at things that are interesting and to show a dynamic range of the SHOT Show and not just, single element of it. Got 13 audio recordings, which, depending on your outlook, are going to be interesting or not. But those include walkthroughs, walking around the show to give you some idea of the ambiance and the atmosphere, the vibe, so to speak, as well as some interviews, some conversations with folks who's been going to SHOT Show over the years. one of my projects at SHOT Show, in addition to paying attention to the show for my 17th year, was to try to bring a focus on Second Amendment awareness and resources. And this year was a great year for that. I brought my 2A resource handbook along with, and actually I've got it right here. I'll just turn the camera on real quick. I have been working on this draft of the Minuteman University website, drawing it into, or printing it onto paper, right? Let me bring this over here. Flip this around real quick, like, let me do this, and do this. So this is the handbook, and it's our Second Amendment in a book. It's about 100 and something pages. It's got the laws. It's got our experience, what it's like to be a gun owner. It's got our rights, right? It's got the lobbyists and the activists. Then it's got our industry. All this stuff is in the book. One of the ways that I created some consistency is to draw these cartoons of the different folks involved in the whole thing, since we're talking about people from back in the olden days till now. The headshots and photographs of them range all over the place. So in order to get some consistency, I started to draw cartoons. Been doing that for years now. And this year, what I did is brought this draft with me to SHOT Show. And we've got 27 signatures of folks who are Second Amendment activists, writers, authors, radio show hosts, podcasters. I didn't get any inventors this year, but I was trying. But the idea is to get them aware of this project, get them to sign this thing, so that now we have all kinds of interesting folks who have signed this and been part of it. And we'll talk more about this course in the future. Let me stop that and get back to this. So that was a big part of the project this year, or going to SHOT Show. That was a big project at SHOT Show this year. So got 27 signatures there. And then, of course, conversations involved with that, which looking forward to what becomes of all that. I put in here conversations and discussions throughout the week, which is code for it's none of your business, but some of the stuff that happened off air was stellar, was really, really good. I think some real distance has been covered this week or last week, because there was such a focus on Second Amendment this year at SHOT Show. All right, so in addition to all that, I guess I walked around and collected more patches than most people are willing to brag about publicly, but I collected patches. I didn't harvest them. I just went in and collected a bunch, and a lot of people who are collectors easily grab as many as I did, only they'll go sell them on eBay or something. We're sending them out to Patreons, but just to flex a little bit, went around and collected, a little more than 200 varieties and, well, a lot more than 200 patches altogether throughout the week. And then had some fun playing with those at the hotel room and whatnot. I walked around 46 miles this week, or last week, at the various events, including that Army Navy Military Expo, which is a little tiny SHOT Show for surplus stores. We went to the media day at the range, went to the 4 days of SHOT Show, the antique gun show, and then went to a surplus store that I like to go to in Vegas all the time. So ended up with, I think, a very successful show, and just finished editing something like 19 videos from day one. I posted 2 or 3 of them already, and then the 19th one just a minute ago. So lots of those videos will be coming up over the next while. There's no hurry for most of them. They're just to show the different edges and corners and levels of the show. So lots of stuff coming out there, including robot dogs and stuff. Where did I write it all down? I just wrote it down somewhere. Here we go. So some of those videos include the history of Sports South, a distributor. Pretty interesting. A robot dog that was running around, almost attacked somebody. Portable indoor shooting ranges made in the USA. An anti-drone rifle, not made in the USA. Recreator blanks, an AKM made in Pennsylvania. Woodsman's Pal, Another thing made in Pennsylvania, the Trinidad Gunsmithing School, which is not in Pennsylvania, it's in Colorado. The Pyro 15, made in Missouri. The Throom targets from New Jersey. Ammo Up out of Florida. Concours, a 120 round AR-15 drum magazine made in Texas. The We One AR-15s made in, where are they made? I forget where they're made now. Dang it. I knew where they're made. Now I can't think of it. Then we got National Body Armor from Florida, a toy garbage thing that is from Australia. The Glove, which is a kind of a taser glove thingy. Got a couple of videos from TUSC. That one from Riding Shotgun with Charlie, and then that Right to Bear Insurance, and then the Ounce pistol that I already posted. So that's just from day one. That's probably the most videos I got in one day, but still, there'll be more videos than that coming up. Let's see. What's going on over here? You guys are chatting out here. Just got back from work. Okay. Everybody saying hello to each other. San Jose passed gun insurance requirements this week. Nebraska is considering constitutional carry. They're pretty much banking on being the 22nd state. Illinois is pushing micro stamping. That's all I saw this week. Oh, so Smeggy's giving us a sit rep. I had not heard about Illinois micro stamping. That's ridiculous. I had heard about San Jose gun insurance, and that's going to solve crime. So at least we'll see an end to violence. So look at the bright side. Less new brass guns stoked, maybe 22. I don't know what any of that means. We One rocks. I'm totally buying one for my buddy's kid. He's only 2. So that's a good question. When do you buy one of these little ARs for the kid? It's only got a 1-round magazine, so when they're 1, I feel like that's a pretty good indicator. I don't think you can buy a little tiny AR like that too soon. The little kid isn't going to be able to use it when he's too little, or she's too little. So by the time they're able to use it, they'll be able to use it. Perfect. So let's dig into the actual videos in here. So that first part was the extra special SHOT Show edition. However, there is a link over here to a Patreon post. You feel free to click on that, and that'll get you to even more detail about what all we did this week. In fact, I'll probably be updating that a little bit as I get some of the data from the van. I'm going to get some of the mileage and stuff out of the van. I don't know what happened to NEA. I haven't been around to see. I've been at SHOT. Is he still not doing videos? I thought so. I heard something about that either during SHOT or before SHOT, but I don't watch Matt's daily stuff, and I haven't jumped in on a Monday show in a while. He quit doing the nerd stuff. Let's see. So then, but I know that Yankee has done his shows before Matt's, so I guess I just haven't paid attention. Let's see. So then we get down to Clover posting this video with a bunch of the empty booths. I don't know how he found so many empty booths. I don't know if he went there before the show was open, or if he was just taking the same booth from a couple angles, but he definitely found a lot of empty booths. You can get the empty hallways by just waiting around or getting there early, but the booths was tricky because I didn't see that many. I only saw a couple of empty ones. Then we had a video from Fudbusters. That is, are these things, they're not showing up as links. That's annoying. I thought these things, when I put an @ symbol in front of them, would show up as links. But anyway, Fudbusters is that channel. He's a lawyer from FPC. And he had an interview with the guy from Sol Invictus, who attempted to make the semi-auto AA-12, and that was a disappointment and a lot of rumor and a lot of speculation. So this interview cleared all that up, but it also gave a lot of insight to the whole situation with Bourget and Jerry and Sol Invictus. So super interesting. The AA-12 is a super cool gun, and its story is pretty awesome. I feel like I'm involved in some respect because whenever I bought the cop car in 2012. One of the reasons of doing that was to go to the Bannerman Castle, and I wanted to go to the Bannerman Castle because it took me past Bourget, who invented a tiny little revolver and the AA-12. Well, he didn't invent the AA-12, but he got it working. So the stuff that they were talking about in this interview, the gas station and Bourget and shooting the rock shotgun in his garage and stuff, we did all that. So makes me feel like I should go back and find some of that raw footage and give it to Fudbuster so he can check it out. Sounds like he's owned some of the machinery that Bourget had in that shop. That shop was super awesome. It was an old, like 30s, 40s gas station that was kind of not in disrepair, but it wasn't fancy anymore. But it was still an old gas station and that old kind of 30s kind of motif or whatever, with ivy all growing over it, and it was all like old. But you go inside, and instead of being a gas station, it was a machine shop, and he was kicking out AA-12 full out of shotguns, as well as little tiny revolvers. He improved the Thunder 5, the 5-shot 410 revolver that was created way before the stupid Taurus Judge. Super cool story. So that was just a great blast from the past to hear about all that and to hear about more depth about Jerry and the rest. Super cool. Some weird, creepy stuff about Jerry, too. Doesn't surprise me too much. Anyway, so that's a great one to listen to. I'd recommend it. Next up would be, oh my goodness. So on the way up to SHOT Show, I had no idea what was in store for me. So this dude, Foss, who probably isn't in here because he's too busy doing important things or whatever, that dude hosted a show called The Overnight when I was driving up to SHOT, and had S.A. Hinecliffe or whatever her name is, Shannon's name is, and holy moly, was that a good show. So if you can only listen to one thing from the last 2 weeks, this might be it. It's a really good show. So worth checking out. They went in depth about the different Washington laws and stuff, but listening to that gives you the ability to understand why it's important to get more tools in our toolboxes. We can be more effective with our awareness. We can be more effective with our advocacy, and it's through words. The same way that you can be more effective by reloading and getting a better round. Gives you more consistency and better accuracy at distance. The way practice can get you more consistency and more ability shooting quickly at multiple targets. You can get better at having discussions with others, and not debates, but discussions, and you can change people's minds. It was epic. Yeah, that show is epic. She is a total inspiration, DJ Sam. Definitely. Highly recommend listening to it. It's awesome. All right, and then this is just a great couple of weeks. So anybody that's in the poll over here and didn't type in yes, what the hell? What in the hell? Obviously, you're a Fed if you put in "come on, man." And just some kind of weirdo if you didn't think the last 2 weeks were badass for 2A, because they were freaking incredible. So the next one would be Great Start Shooting School, Brooke, kicking ass and taking names. And one of the names in this one was Brian Shotgun with Charlie. Now, I'm pretty sure, did I even see this one? This might have happened while I was driving or when I was sleeping. I don't remember if I've ever seen this one or not, but it's obviously good because Brooke did it. Seeing that facility on the road to Bannerman would be sweet. Oh yeah, it was, except we didn't get to Bannerman, but let's see. So Charlie was on Brooke's show, and then Charlie was on Santee's show, and then Santee was on Crump, except it wasn't Crump, and then Charlie had another show where he had Tyler on, and then I guess that's it. But there might have been another one with Charlie in here somewhere. There's definitely one with Foss. But anyhow, lots of Charlie this last couple of weeks somehow. He's gotten himself on a bunch of different interview shows, and he was interviewing some people, so he's in here a couple of times. Let's see. Then we get finally to Locked and Loaded Latinos, who's normally my number one, but this week they just couldn't pull it off. There was just too much epic shit happening in the last couple of weeks. Now, I don't know if I missed one of their shows. I may have missed one, but this one was them talking about video games and then SHOT Show. And unfortunately, they didn't go to SHOT Show, so they aren't going to really be able to talk about it too good, except for what their reviews of stuff are. Would have been a good one for them to attend for sure. For sure. Let's see. Next would be, is this a link to Foss's show? There's also a link in the description, but I appreciate you throwing a link in the thing here if anybody wants to go check it out. Let's see. So Nebraska Firearms Owners Association, I believe, online town hall was basically just Sandhills sitting there talking about stuff. And then, I guess I didn't put his show last night. He had a show last night that was also pretty good. Where they all kind of giving themselves a cheerleading session, getting themselves ready for the fight for being the 22nd state for constitutional carry. So we'll see. So Sandhills is over there keeping people on track and, holding the light or whatever, keeping the torch lit. Let's see. Then we get out in Nebraska. A lot of Nebraskans in here right now, actually, or might be. We'll go back to South Carolina. I don't remember where he's at. So Gun Culture 2.0. This one is David Yamani talking about his light overheat project. And in this one, he talks about what Gun Culture 2.0 is again. It takes a lot of balls to get out and say, hey, I'm not into guns and I just got into guns and here's the history of guns. I mean, you can do that, but, I'm going to still consider whatever anybody says like that, a grain of salt. So I think that he's considering a heck of a lot of stuff, Gun Culture 1.0. I mean, considering everything that's ever happened with guns up until now, Gun Culture 1.0. Like, that's a lot of stuff. But if he wants to draw a line, I don't have a problem with that. I guess my main issue is calling it Gun Culture 2.0. Call it Gun Culture 2020. I don't care if you call it that, but just suggesting that it's second gun culture, I don't agree with. But I'm not quite splitting hairs. It's just he decided to name it 2.0, so I don't get that part of it. But his focus, I totally understand. And I don't say I agree with it, but I understand his position and what he's attempting to do, which is to prove or show that gun ownership is normal and normal for all kinds of people and not just fringe. And he does that in lots of different interesting ways. This is the fourth episode in this particular incarnation of the attempts, this light overheat series. And in this one, again, he defines Gun Culture 2.0. So I'm not quite splitting hairs. I'm going to continue to follow what they're doing and appreciate it because it is new effort in that direction. And I'll tell you what, whatever the hell we think as gun owners, people that have been around guns for a long time, it doesn't even matter what you think about guns because somebody who bought a gun yesterday gets to think whatever they want. It's their property. And in this country, they can do whatever they want. They don't have to listen to your tradition or your reasons. So sooner we can get past that and share instead of demand, I think we'll be better off. Let's see. Rob, Twitter has a link to the full charging document against CRS. Okay, I have no idea what that means. So let's see. Next up is Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Had this guy on, Tyler, whose kid who started Second Amendment Institute. And it's interesting to see a kid doing stuff and getting into 2A from the East Coast. Then, like I mentioned, Charlie was also on Santee. And then right after this show, he came on and joined us on the SHOT Show Bingo episode. Now, Santee was a guest on Crump, and Crump wasn't there, so it was the other two dudes, and it was all right. It's good to see Santee out there getting experience with other gun YouTube people. All right, and then we get to Safety Doc and had barbecue on there. I don't know if they're in there. Sometimes they'll show up over here, sometimes they don't. But that was a long conversation about truckers and stuff. So I left Doc a whole bunch of comments or suggestions in there. He's talking about doing some sort of a brown bag effort for truckers, and he really wants to put something in a brown bag. So I gave him quite a few things to as suggestions. But today he looked at some of my suggestions. He didn't really look at them the other night. Then we get to mic drop. So we had a couple. Oh, wait a minute. I might have missed a combat story in here, but definitely a mic drop came up, and this one was Holly McKay again. So Holly has been on before with Mike, and this time it was an update to the situation in Afghanistan. So Holly didn't leave with everybody when the U.S. withdrew. So she stuck around and kept reporting, and is giving us a sit rep, or give Mike a sit rep, give us a sit rep about the situation there and the real deal. Pretty interesting. It's one thing to speculate. It's one thing to speculate at the time of stress or turmoil, but it's a whole nother thing to get an intel dump from a lady who's completely aware, focused, and cares about the situation, from somebody like Mike, who's interested in asking the right questions and not necessarily trying to be politically correct or trying to, gotcha, or trying to show off how crazy he is or anything. It was just real. It was just real. It was pretty good. Points dropped on the dock. Yeah. So that was my thing. Like, if you really want to help the truckers out, then let's get truckers involved in it and not just pander to them, giving them socks or whatever. It sounds good, but everybody's got a different size foot. You know what I mean? Some people can't wear a sock. I can't just wear some sock somebody gives me. I got special medical socks and garbage like that. So it's ridiculous to just think you can do a one size fits all. Now, on the other hand, a number you call up and get a home cooked meal, that's a little different. That's something that might require a little bit of coordination or something, but now that's something that somebody might appreciate getting that. And if you don't appreciate it, you might be able to trade that with somebody who does and get something that you do want. So I could see something more. I mean, anyway, I'm not going to bitch about it, but I definitely have a lot of opinions on trucking as myself. Let's see. So next up is impact of a groundbreaking Supreme Court concealed carry ruling from Armed Scholar. Why did I put this one in here? I do not remember what's so good about that one and why I put it in here.
Portable heater is taking over the heating market in the UK.
Nobody cares about what's happening in Europe. This doesn't help me at all. Nope. Doesn't help me at all. No. New York, circumvent. Nope. I can't remember why I put that one in here. If anybody can remember why I put that one in here, let me know. All right. So then we get Barbecue. Oh, Barbecue tried to set up some rooms. I asked him if he could set up some rooms for after actions. He set them up, but then I don't know if anybody used them. Turns out people didn't want to show up in an evening chat and strategize. Instead, they did other things, I guess. But I appreciate that he was willing to kind of recalculate at the last minute last week and offer the rooms for people. That was pretty cool. Let's see. Then we got a whole bunch of slot shifting happening over the weekend. So first off, Gizzard couldn't be bothered to drive home fast enough to do his own show on Sunday morning. So Foss takes over and does his show for Gizzard. So now you got a mouse doing the work of a chicken. Did he bring S.A. Hinecliffe back and make it an epic 2-part show? No, he didn't. He just did a regular old 4-hour marathon talking about guns and stuff. Then he gets all tired, knocks down something, and a whole bunch of pancake batter got all over the floor. So now there couldn't be any pancakes. And now Gizzard takes over the nighttime shift. And now Gizzard is on Sunday, but at a whole different time. I don't think anybody watched that one, so it was on at night. Then all that happened. Then you get the Williams Family Museum in the middle of nowhere posts a video about the Henry repeaters, which is super cool and worth checking out. He digs into them, knows all about them, has a bunch of different examples of them there. It's good to see that the Williams Family Museum is getting up there in subs. Remember, you could be one of the first 100 subscribers to a brand new firearms museum that's on YouTube, just coming on YouTube in the last couple of months. I am minutes off I-80 in the middle of the country. I am in a position to help it go. What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the Brown Bragg Brigade? I gotcha. Then we got, the Second Amendment rally. I can't show you the audio of this because of copyright, I'm almost positive, but we can look at it with mute on. So it's Arizona State Capitol is what you're looking at here. And this is the rally from last year. So we have a rally every year, and it's nice out because it's Arizona. And hundreds, if not thousands of people show up, and they have a stage and all these little pop-up tents, and it's quite an event. We'd sprawl out on a larger and larger footprint at the fairground or at the state capitol. So the state capitol is the buildings to our left as you look at this, like the buildings behind all this. And then the parking lots would be behind us. They didn't have Mellow in here for some reason, but whatever. So then this is a video that Gun Freedom Radio put together, I believe. It's a pretty decent video, except I'm pretty sure that can't you play the audio. So here, let's take a second and pause it there for a moment, and we'll rewind just a little bit. And this is one of my things is, see this guy up here on the roof? That's a police sniper. He's always sitting up there. They're always sitting up there. There's one over here on this building too. So this is our state capitol with the little lady on top of it back there. And these are some kind of blah, blah, blah buildings involved with the capitol. And we're out here doing our business. And then they always have these police snipers up here. Well, I'm like, give one of them a camera and have them take a picture of us so that we know what we look like from up there. Because they're not going to let us fly a drone around because of the way they are. So anyway, that's there's always a concern about how many people are there. And I know if we had a picture, then we could just count. But whatever. So yeah, there we go. So the 19th, it's a Saturday. It's from 10 to 2. It's a 4-hour event. A whole bunch of speakers will be there. There's all kinds of things to do and have fun and whatnot. If you're in Arizona, you're welcome to join the festivities and celebrate the Second Amendment. February 19th, Saturday. All right, next is SHOT Show. Oh, that's pretty much the end. So SHOT Show Bingo is a show that we had earlier this week, Wednesday, where instead of doing a sarcastic garbage version of bingo, I do a more deliberate, intentional version of bingo to give folks who attend SHOT a way to reflect back on some of the things that we did, or maybe give us some ideas of what to do next year. Let's see, we got the Ounce Pistol. Posted that one just yesterday, and then this We One posted that one yesterday too. It's weird because I posted these partially on Instagram already, so it's almost like I'm rewinding or what am I doing? I'm putting up a rerun, but it's actually edited, and the first time it's going up on YouTube. So anyway, lots of stupid comments, lots of interesting comments, and like anything, if people don't have it perfectly folded and neatly put in their pocket, then they are convinced that it's going to either hurt them or bite them, or they're scared of it. So lots of creepy, weird comments and lots of interesting comments, but yep, YouTube is for that, I guess. All right, so with that, we're about done with most of it. Where are we at with time? Oh, we're only about a half an hour in. I guess Dang it, I could have been drinking this the whole time. For some reason, I thought it was going to be a long show and I have to rush. So I can go slower and drink this slowly. I had heated up some chocolate water before the show, so now I'm sipping on my warm chocolate water. All right, so was this a good week for 2A? You're all wrong. 11 people voted. It looks like something like 6 of you are stupid and 5 of you are dead on. So end this poll. Most of you should leave. And then the people that aren't crazy can stick around and hang out, and then we'll go check out Instagrams together since we got another half of an hour. So we'll go into here. And just to FYI, here's the deal. You go to Instagram and you can mind your business over there, or you can participate. Are you serious? Look at this. This is Instagram censorship, making it so I can't even look at the main Instagram page. Seriously? Come on. Am I still connected to the internet? What's going on? Is it because of the S? Come on, Instagram. All right. It's going to play around like this. Let me go to Gear Website's Instagram then. This one I can go to because it's not censored. Oh man, it will not let me go to the main Instagram page. Does anybody else have Instagram problems? What's up with that? Am I blocked off of Instagram now? Nah, there's me. So let me try to go back to main Instagram. Nah, it's just like you ain't going to main Instagram. All right, well, I was just going to show you how Instagram works. I'll have to show you on one of my own posts here. Oh, I guess I can kind of show you. So if you want to just like it, you click that heart. It's no big deal. Anybody can do that. If you want to say something, you type on this little thingy, and then it says something. And now people see that you say something. So that's a little bit better. Then you could click on this little paper airplane, and then that shoves it up to your circles or someplace. And that's a little bit better because now you're pushing it around on a paper airplane. And then the best thing you can do is add it to your collections. And you can have a lot of collections. See how many I got there? I just, when I add something to them, I normally just let it go to the collections. And then what happens is when you're over here looking at stuff, you can go to your saved collections over here. And the ones that you don't tag, they just go here into the main pile. And there you go. There's that one. So now I'm going to uncheck it and refresh, and now it won't be there anymore. So that's a little how to use Instagram tech. And that's what we're looking at here is the posts on Instagram over the last little while that I have clicked the little chevron looking thing to, and where to figure out where to start. Why don't we go to these Medal of Honor recipients that are from January 14th, which are approximately 2 weeks ago. All right. All right, good. Robots, I blame robots. Insta works for me on my phone. Okay. Insta okay for me, loaded to the ounce. Okay, that's interesting. So maybe it's just my Instagram's being weird. So this one is from, see it won't, oh no, it does tell me, January 14th. Like I said, that was last Friday. This day in 1968. I can't read this, but Clarence earned a Medal of Honor doing some amazing shit in Vietnam. And then you get this guy from World War II escorting a bomber formation, separated from the group. It's a little easier to read pilots because they do things differently than dudes that are getting themselves destroyed in real life as they're helping other people on the ground. Let's see. So this is Rebecca Schmoy talking about going over onto Getter. So I don't know if people are using the Getter or not. I've been posting some things over on the YouTubes to see what all channels and platforms people are on. This is an amazing picture from AZ Armory up in Phoenix. Just they do some cool stuff once in a while. Every once in a while, when you're doing things with cool stuff, you can just see the art in it, and they do, and they take some pictures of that once in a while when it is appropriate like this. And that's just so neat on so many different levels. All right, so talking about that Second Amendment rally we have on the 19th of February, the 2A Rally AZ is the channel that, is the sponsor of it. So the various speakers are like being introduced in these splash pages. So Mark Victor is an attorney here in Arizona, and for years, a lot of people have appreciated his efforts and his awareness, his efforts at awareness. He'll set up at gun shows and let people know about their rights as CCW rights, as just gun owners, and he'll do it himself. He doesn't just like have a person show up. Mark's a pretty decent dude, and he's also working on a thing called the Peace Movement. He's he's an attorney. He's a good attorney, but he's also kind of a hippie. So he's got some interesting projects out there. Let's see. Then we got this one was from before SHOT Show, letting everybody know that they're going to be at a booth in the Caesars Expo, the National African American Gun Association. And I did get a chance to go over there and meet Philip, who created the organization back in 2015. I was kind of stoked to see that they were going to be there because I wasn't sure if they were interested in being at SHOT because they haven't had their inaugural convention yet. So I didn't know if they would consider SHOT like a different thing or something. But yeah, they showed up, and I'm glad they did. It seemed like they had a really popular booth right in the middle of kind of an open room, so it worked out to be in a good spot for them, I think. What the hell? So then, that's interesting. I ended up being, and I know exactly where this is. I ended up going up these stairs and taking a picture of that same thing, except with better stuff. So what is this? This is, oh neat. This would have been Caesars before it was even set up. That's kind of cool. This is the little walkway. This is all before the show, so we didn't have much experience. Like we had no frame of reference for any of this. This was all new. Turns out, just as I suspected, though, I remember looking at that picture actually and thinking, uh-oh. And that's exactly how it turned out. Definitely worked out well for, what's the word? Like facilitation of SHOT Show this year. This one, I don't know who, or this is Mama Bear Defense who did this thing and put out this FYI sort of a awareness thing. But I don't know who needs to hear this, but check the expiration of your CCW and put a reminder in your calendar. More and more states are not letting people know when their CCWs expire. So do that. Go take a look at your CCW card, figure out when it expires, give yourself a reminder. There's usually some time before it expires that you can renew, and give yourself that reminder to renew like ASAP. A lot of them are taking forever to renew. Let's see. This is from Ready Man Network, one of the cooler channels to follow if you're looking for tips and on tools and stuff like that. My father didn't tell me how to live. He lived and let me watch him do it. I don't know who Clarence Kenland is, but that's pretty interesting saying there. Then we got Esso Tech, one of my favorite nylon manufacturers, bunch of berets, and they hire differently abled veterans and make everything very compliant USA. We're at SHOT Show again, and we did a booth review with them. Actually, they were testing out some interesting stuff there. I got a couple of videos there in their booth. Ready Man Network. This is pretty neat. So look at this dude. He's just in there feeling that lock, grabbed a blank key right there, and then just by feel, he's in here notching out the blank, and then boom, good to go. So, like it says, exceptional skill is a thing of beauty. I put these things in here so that we can watch them, but I don't need to keep them in my file forever. So a lot of these I'll just uncheck as we're looking at them. But watching somebody who knows what they're doing with tools is always a pleasure, in my opinion. All right, and then we had Women of the Gun reception at SHOT Show, and this was on Wednesday where they took their picture. I got a video of the girls taking their picture. Let's see, this was a bunch of pictures, a bunch of patches from, we made a patch wall for Feezy grips in the center near the bottom. We made the patch wall for VZ grips. So this was on the 18th. I guess I missed this one completely. This would have been last Tuesday. So in the center near the bottom. So there's the Wildcats patch. That's weird. That's last year's. So I don't know how they could have had this many patches. This had to be from last year's, and they just had it up. That must be what it is. So trying to see if I recognize any of these. A lot of these were just manufacturer ones. But seeing a picture of patch panels like that becomes sometimes interesting. Then you see what patches are out there to be on the lookout for. This was some dude moping that he wasn't at SHOT Show. So I'm like, go to SHOT Show then. Sitting around moping about it is like the worst thing you can do. Just go. Then there was Dana Mueller doing her speech, her press release on Tuesday morning, which I missed because they had a press release on Tuesday morning, and I'm not used to doing things in the middle of the day on Tuesday, the first day of SHOT Show. Went over to Barnell and tried to meet up with Yancey, but we'll eventually get a chance to chat about Russian ammo. One of my friends from Tucson works with Barnell, so instead of me trying to get this wicked picture, I just took his wicked picture. I went by there like 6 times and didn't get a chance to chat with him. Well, I'm always like, yeah, we'll chat later. We'll chat later. We'll chat later. And now it's over. You know, that happens all the time. So this is Rick Ector and Chris. Rick is posting that one. And then the Greenberry Foundation. Oh, I didn't get one of these, actually. I meant to meet up with them and grab one of these, but we ended up chatting about some other stuff, and now we're working together. Actually, I'm working for them to help get the word out on their projects. Let's see. So this one was pretty good. Firearms policy, messing with this thing called Guns Down America. And they say an estimated 18 million guns were sold in 2021, putting it on record as the second highest year for gun sales since 2000. Americans make up only 4% of the world population, and yet they account for nearly half of the civilian-owned guns in the world. And that's their campaign, I guess, is to make it look like we have a lot of guns, and somehow that's bad. There you go. Let's see. This was kind of an announcement that Chris put out on the 20th, letting people know that he would be over at the hotel signing books on the 21st. Oops. And one of the reasons I shoved it in there so that I wouldn't forget about it. This was the gunsmith school. I tried to meet with them. Look how many people were there, and I still couldn't meet with them. So they were just running all around, not meeting with me. And I think we ended up at 3 different locations, not meeting up together. So eventually we'll meet up and we'll have an interview with them. I did get an interview with the Trinidad Gunsmithing School. Taylor Defense Training Group. Dude constantly posts interesting posts when you're a paramedic and, you know, stuff happens. it's a page similar to Ed Calderon's, except in a different, an active paramedic instead of an ex Mexican police. Let's see, again, we had some more stuff from the page Gunsmithing School. We attempted to meet up quite a few times. Now, TUSC gave $20,000 to Gun Owners of America, and Gun Owners of America is going to start minting the TUSC coin. And if you don't know what that means, stay tuned because we'll be talking much more about that. That's adding to a growing number of people using TUSC. Let's see, again, as we mentioned, this is Phil, the guy who started NAGA back in 2015. And although they've had to miss two of their first convention, their inaugural convention, I'm suspecting that this was in a lot of ways like that. They had a chance to a lot of the gun shops and members and stuff to show up and hang out. Like I say, the place that they had them set up was sort of, it's hard to explain, but there was a whole big empty section, so they kind of had more room than they would have expected, I think. So anyway, I don't know how often they used it, but they had a lot of room there. Let's see, and then S.A. Heincliffe over on the Instagrams, the people we were talking, or the Shannon Sharon, who we were talking about on Foss's show. This is one of her posts, giving people some quick things that they could do to combat the, in this case, things that are happening this was in Washington. Yeah. So they have two things happening there, state preemption and a semi-auto rifle ban. And it says they're going to be voted on as early as today or yesterday. So we'll see what happens there. This was from Great Start Shooting School, and she was just posting about taking NRA range safety officer training, which I think is a good idea to take. It's always a good idea to be a range safety officer. Let's see. Then we get Mike from Walk Talk America has been successful in getting companies or manufacturers to include Walk the Talk America on their labels. So here it is on a box of Arms Corps ammo, free and anonymous health screenings at WTTA.org/love, which is pretty cool. Free and anonymous health screenings at WTTA.org/love. And, same thing with the warnings for lead and whatnot, but that's pretty neat. That's legitimatizing it. It's getting it into people's subliminal. It's getting it there where someone who is conscious enough to want to read what's going on the box is going to read it. If you're trying to read some data on the box, you're going to skim it. So it's going to be in people's peripheral. It's going to be in their mind. Very cool. We mentioned this a little bit earlier when we were talking about sandhills, but the senator in Nebraska introduced L 773, constitutional carry, would provide for the carrying of concealed handguns without a permit and prohibits regulation of such carrying by cities, villages, and counties. So good luck on becoming the 22nd state. Let's see. So then we got the Gun Culture 2.0 posting a deal about the video series that he's posting we talked about earlier. We got Dragon Man. I guess he's giving away something to people, giving away some cash prizes and stuff. I don't know why he needs to do that. He's freaking Dragon Man, for crying out loud, but certainly interesting. And in this one, he's I think he was doing is having kids send in drawings of tanks and military vehicles, and then giving prizes to the kids from the drawings and stuff. So I guess he's doing it because he's a super cool dude. He's being a grandpa to a bunch of kids. All right, so next you get M13 Industries, cool gunsmith that I follow up in Las Vegas. And they got these Galils that had some smashed front sights, and they were just showing how you can straighten that out, make your kit look better. This is a super cool video, just kind of showing Dragon Man, kind of a day in the life of Dragon Man, 75-year-old Dragon Man, farting around, having a good time. Takes Mondays off, works every other day, constantly doing cool stuff, rebuilding Harley parts and motors, updating and maintaining his huge private military collection / open to the public museum, his hot rods in his 50s museum affiliated with the big museum. He's adding the Revolutionary War and Civil War elements to the museum, and then now he's doing these giveaways and art contests for the little youngins. He's in here welding stuff and getting his Harley upgrade business, moving, and then he's over here playing with his machine guns and his Harley and his hot rods. Forget how many dozen hot rods he has. He's got a set of shirts now for the different hot rods on different t-shirts. He's constantly having car shows, or bringing a bunch of cars to car shows, or setting up car shows for folks. Cool little mono, what do they call that? Mono, I don't know, what do they call that? Slideshow of Dragon Man stuff. Now this is from Superbell, the people that invented the hollow point back in the day. So I never even knew about this thing, but you jam 8 rounds into there, put another end block in there, slide it over, jam 8 rounds in there, comes out. So I don't know if that's something they made or if that's something from back in the day, but certainly is neat. Nice and fast. Let's see. So this is interesting. This was Guns for Everyone had I guess a course, and they have this app from the ACLU that lets you complain about everything when you've been injusticed. If you get injusticed, and you can complain about it right away. So you can get mobile justice immediately. So you can record the police with this app, and you can complain about things with this app, and you can click on all these different rights that are violated. And then, I guess, get notifications of what other people are offended by or stuff. So anyway, kind of interesting. And again, if you don't know the tools that are available, then other people are just going to use the tools that you're not aware of, right? So did you know what a barrel is? This is a little barrel. So where's this, an onx? Anyway, it's a barrel, basically. I don't like them, but a lot of people did, or do, I guess, nowadays. So Krebs is pretty good. Known Mark for a long time, and I follow him on Instagram, even though we haven't even said hey in forever. But yeah, I mean, if anybody was going to put together a little barrel, it'd be Mark. And this thing isn't 100% accurate or nothing. It's kind of goofy, but it is pretty neat. So I don't know if you're into 5.56 AKs made in Poland with proprietary rails, and they're super strong and kind of goofy. And for some reason has a left side charging handle, I just noticed. I'm not sure what's up with that. But I guess it just has both sides charging handles. Interesting. So anyway, that's the, I don't think the regular barrel has that. I think that's an addition. But either way, that's a little barrel pistol. And I'm guessing an SBR because it doesn't look like a brace. But anyhow, kind of neat. It's been a while. I don't even get linked on stuff like that anymore. And then, is that it? Where are we at? Oh, if I click on save, does it take me right here? Oh, it does. All right, and that was the last one. So that was the last one. We're done. Boom, right in an hour. Couldn't even time that better. I still can't get to main Instagram. What's up with that? That's super Instagram censorship right there. Y'all are seeing it happen. Is it because I'm not at 100%? I can't make any difference. That's Instagram censorship. I can't get Instagram to open on my computer. So there you go. All right. So they were done. That was the weekly wrap up. If you dig it, then you know what the deal is. If you don't dig it, then I don't know why you're here watching it this late. We will be doing this again next week. And I don't think anybody's saying anything. Oh, I'm about to bust an aspect of the thing. I'm having a really hard time with the perspective. I don't know what you're talking about. So, yeah. So you can either expect everybody to do everything the same way, like a bunch of Borg, or you can understand that humans are going to do stuff their own way. And you can be like, ha ha ha, it didn't happen to me. And then watch people burn. Or you can, throw somebody a cup of water or a rope once in a while. I'm not going to tell you to do nothing. I'm not going to tell you to not do nothing. I suspect if you're going to do something, you're gonna. And if you're not, you're not. But I sincerely hope that if anybody else is in a situation where you need somebody else's help, there's other things that they can do besides debate. But whatever. It's hard to say with what people are doing. There's definitely going to be people wanting to exploit everything that happens, and there's definitely going to be people that are going to want to sit around and watch everything fail, because you can always win if you always vote on failure. You're always going to win eventually. So are you really that smart when you just vote on failure, or are you just playing the long game of waiting around? I don't know what you mean. All right. Well, with that, we will end it. We will go over here to this area. We'll remind everybody that we're able to do this thanks to the people that subscribe to what we do. They keep our servers running. They keep the software subscribed to, and they keep it possible for us to spend time focused on this stuff and maintaining everything. A whole bunch of people in the pit crew. A bunch of people that we call the ammo, the box of ammo, right? We got the sandbox, we got the soap box, we got the ammo box, and we got the ballot box, right? That's our ammo box right there. We got the breakfast club when we used to travel. They were purchasing chocolate chip pancakes along the way. We got the BLT crew, big thick BLTs, and then the coffee bunch, the people that throw a cup of coffee at us each month and make it possible for us, again, to keep all those servers going. There's like 3 or 4 servers that we have running, a bunch of software, and then the time that it takes to keep all these things going. We don't do a ton. We're not trying to make the whole world go around. We're just trying to keep an eye on the stuff that the others are not going to pay attention to because there's no money in it. All right, with that, thanks everybody for showing up. Thanks, DJ, for being the only one in here to ask for patches at the beginning of the show. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of patches, and DJ's the only one that even mentioned which ones he wanted. So he got every single thing he asked for, except for like 2 that are going to Yankee. But yeah, thanks for jumping in, being part of the fun. I will end it with this, and we'll be back to pick you up later. GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com. So let us know what you think. We'll be watching the comments wherever you find the video, over on gunstreamer.com or on guntube.org. Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourages you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching gunwebsites.com.